Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here with another NBA Prize Picks video. Wow, what an afternoon! I had to redo a few picks with some trades that we had. We had an earlier trade where C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell are shipped off to the Pelicans, and the Blazers get Josh Hart, Satoransky, Alexander Walker, and some draft picks. And then the biggest one that just hit, which I had to change because I had a Sabonis and a Trae Young pick here for this video and had to go find a few more, is the Pacers. The Pacers shipped off Sabonis, Lamb, and Holiday to the Kings, and the Kings ended up getting, and the Pacers got Halliburton, Hield, and Tristan Thompson in that. So that's a big trade. Changed a lot of the landscape. I think we're going to see a lot of this up until, the trade deadline on Thursday. So maybe you don't want to play so heavy until that trade deadline, because if you lock in some picks, they could be great beforehand and then they could turn bad, or vice versa, right? Like if you locked in some Ingram assist props and other props like that early in the day, and then Hart gets shipped out, those props are great. So it could go vice versa here. So keep that in mind when you're making some picks here. So with that, I'll talk about the ones that I found. But again, we could see a lot more news and a lot more things move around. So keep that in mind when you're making these plays, because they could be great now, they could be crap later, or they could be okay now and they could be really good later, depending on if anyone else gets traded. So with that, if you like these videos, hit that thumbs up for me, subscribe to the channel, and let's get after it. All right. As you can see, like always, the Prize Picks desktop version is up. And if you don't have a Prize Picks account, head on over there, use promo code DFSArmy, get yourself a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. The link is in the description below. All right, what we're looking at here. So again, with some of those moves that Portland made, with no CJ, they're going to be kind of light. And I think we might be able to take advantage of it in one spot. So I did points, rebounds, and assists here. And I really wish we just had points and rebounds, but points, rebounds, and assists. And we're going to come all the way down, and we're going to take Wendell Carter Jr. over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, he's done this in 3 of his last 5, but with Portland missing some of those guys, their defense is already, they allowed they're 27th in the league in points allowed, 30th in the league in assists allowed, 11th in rebounds allowed, and now they just, C.J. McCollum, arguably the best player outside of Lillard on their team, just got shipped out. So, just looking at the line, Orlando is actually favored by 1.5 here, and it's a 221 over under. So I think this is a situation where we can kind of take advantage of this, and I think, he's averaged 30.8 points, rebounds, and assists over his last 5. Bamba should be down there with Nurk. He'll play some 5 as well. But he should be able to do about whatever he wants to here. So just looking at things, I kind of like this points, rebounds, and assists over 27.5. And it's juiced on some of the sites. Like, it's around minus 120 at some of the books. So we'll take the over here. The next one we're going to get, I really wish we could find the assist prop on Brandon Ingram right now. They don't have it, but it was at 6.5 still at some of the books, juiced at 150. So if you want to take that, and I'd play it alternate assist lines for 7.5 and 8.5 and 9.5. I'd play it all the way up to say 10 or 11. I think he just crushed those assists with no Hart there. But what we're going to do, and why I speak of that, is we're actually going to take a play here from him. We're actually going to take Brandon Ingram over 45.5 fantasy points here. Now, he just played Houston a few games ago here, and had 62 fantasy points just 2 days ago. Now Hart's not out there, so he's going to have to do a little bit more. Like I said, Alexander Walker shipped out as well. So he's just going to have to do more ball handling in this situation. There's no Satoransky. Luzado wasn't really playing, but he got shipped off as well. So that's 3 pretty decent chunk of guys that handle the ball with Hart, Satoransky, and Alexander Walker. I think we can kind of move those guys out and kind of get the ball in his hands even more. So I like the assist more if you're playing books. Like I said, I would play that thing all the way up to 10 and alternate lines. But for Prize Picks, since they don't have it, because that'd be a free square if they had 6.5 right now. We're going to go the over 45.5 fantasy points just because they don't have that. So the other one we're going to look at here is we're going to go down to the rest of these three are going to be points. And really, I only have 4 picks. The fifth one is fringe, and I'm not going to say it's an official pick, but I'll talk about it. But what we're going to do is here, we're going to come down to that game. If you watch the earlier video, I will link that at the end of this video. I did an earlier video where I had 5 picks, and I had 1 in this game. But we're going to go back on the other side of it, and we're going to go Anthony Davis over 24.5 points. He's went over this prop 5 out of 5 games. You know, putting up 20, 30, 30, 27, and 31. This game's a really good spread. It's -4. Both teams should have full strength, which should be fun. And it's a 231 over-under here, you know. And he should be involved here in the offense, right? They're going to need his scoring. Westbrook, man, he's just so up and down. I could see LeBron maybe having the ball a little bit more and trying to get him the ball down in the post a little bit more. So, but AD, if he wants to play and he wants to turn it on here, he can get this here. His shots have been awesome. 19, 24, 18, 20, 21 field goal attempts over the last 5 games, averaging 38 minutes a game. I love to see that. I hope they keep that up. If those minutes are up like that, he played 1 game against Milwaukee earlier this year where he had 37 minutes. So I think we'll see him out there a ton. So I like this over 24.5 points for AD. The next one we're going to go out here is, again, points. We're actually going to come down to the Houston game. We're, again, on the other side of Ingram, Houston. So a lot of these are kind of correlate with one another. But it's Christian Wood over 18.5 real-life points here. One of the reasons I like this pick is there is no Eric Gordon in this game. He is out. Daniel Theis is also out Daniel Tice is also out for Houston. So both of those guys, he just should see more shots than, and just looking at his what he's done over the last 5 games. He's hit it 4 out of his last 5 games. The Pelicans defense, again, they 16th in the league in points allowed. They're 9-point dogs here, which is a little troublesome, but he's played the Pelicans twice this year, and he's put up 23 and 22 real life points. Just 2 days ago, he put up the 22. And then those 15 and 13 shot attempts. I think we're going to see more shots than that this game. So I really like the over here on 18.5 points for Christian Wood. And so the last one we're gonna go over here is not one that I'm gonna make an official pick, but I'll talk about it just because I never really can trust him. But it's in this same Lakers-Milwaukee game, just because I love the game environment. And the line looks a little low for him. And it's Bobby Portis, 13.5. Like, if we look at it, he's went over this in three of his last 5 games, right? His minutes kind of fluctuate a lot. He has averaged 28 minutes over his last 5. But when he's in there, he's shooting 12, 13, 14 shot attempts, almost as much as Christian Wood. And he'll shoot the 3. He's got great range, which is great. He shot 5, 8, and 5 3-pointers in those games. So he's shooting 3 a ton. He can get to the line a little bit. And just, they're going to need him, right? Going up against the Lakers. And if AD is going to play that many minutes, I would assume Bobby Portis is going to be out there a good chunk as well, especially when Giannis is off the court. They don't have a lot of great size with Milwaukee. That's I think good enough to, match up with AD. Not that Bobby Portis is at all, but I think they'll throw him out there for some offense as well. And again, he played the Lakers, this year already on the November 17th, and he ended up putting 17 points up on the board. So now this is on some of the books out there, it's at 14.5 points, and we're getting at 13.5. Again, Lakers defense, they're 26 allowed in the league points allowed, and I just think that I would take some shots at this. I definitely wouldn't build it around a core piece today when I'm making my 2 and 3 man power plays like I always do, but. Keep in consideration if you want to dig deeper in that number and maybe, think if it's a play or not. So, again, those are the plays we're looking at here. Again, we'll start at the top. Wendell Carter Jr. over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Brandon Ingram over 45.5 fantasy points. Anthony Davis over 24.5 points. Christian Wood over 18.5 points. And if you want to take that shot on Bobby Portis at over 13.5 points, that one is there as well. So, with that, again, crazy Tuesday. I'm sure we'll see some more trades out there. So keep an eye out for that. They can definitely dictate where you're going to play. So play light if you're worried about that, or like I said, maybe you'll get on the right side of luck if you like took those Ingram assist props or any sort of his picks early in the day before the trade happens. So a lot can go down here, and it should be a real fun night, especially if you're playing regular fantasy over at DraftKings and FanDuel. It should be a lot of fun. So with that, again, hit that like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I'll see you on the flip side. Deuces, y'all.